maybe he had a heart attack.
Yes. There's some family history of heart disease.
This would never happen so blatantly. And I'll tell you why. Because in medicine, the people who are not held accountable in this, the people who are making these mistakes and covering them up, are almost doing it unconsciously. Their colleagues may know about it, but it's a cultural thing to not expose them. It's like a code of silence. And the way that they make it so obvious here, that it devalues what's actually happening, which is this very subtle culture. Everybody knows that surgeon who is dangerous, who makes these mistakes, and they either consciously or unconsciously cover for that person or don't say anything. And when you actually survey hospital employees at the top hospitals in the country and ask them, would you get care at your own institution if it came to it, 50% of them, of these employees, say no, which tells you they know something that the public doesn't know.
Should we shock? No, we can't. The rhythm's not shockable. Give me one of Epi. Make those compressions harder and faster. Prepare to intubate.
It's been 24 minutes. It's time to call the code.
Code. This is my code. You gave me this code. She's 21 years old. Harder, man. You need to feel the ribs crack. I'm not giving up.
I said that's enough.
God, I hate it when that happens on TV. I really hate it when that happens on TV. Because that young lady is dead. He should have called the code. Continuing to do CPR is not going to bring her out of PEA in this case if they've tried everything to reverse what caused it in the first place. And this is misleading the public that just pound harder, push more, break more ribs, and they will come back to life. That's not how it works. And I hate it when Hollywood does this shit.
Her end-tidal CO2 is less than 15 for the entire code. That doesn't necessarily mean that... Yes, it does. She's been without oxygen to her brain for 26 minutes. Congratulations, you got her heart beating again, but she's brain dead.
That is the truth of the matter. That's what people need to know.
You came in here all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to save lives, but today you didn't save a life, you saved a brainstem.
You didn't save a life, you saved a brainstem. That's amazing.
All we want to do is help our patients, but what they don't teach us in medical school is there are so many ways to do harm.
You know, I saw that in the trailer for this thing, and I was like, oh my God, the drama. I see it in the context of the show, and you know what? It's probably the single most important takeaway for all of us in healthcare and all of us who are patients, which is just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. And there are so many ways we harm people, and we don't even know it because we're so conditioned to do what we do, because we can do it.
Yeah, and this Dr. Hoskins, our Minister of Health in Ontario, is teaching chest compressions only for drug overdose. And that's the worst possible thing you could do. It's basic first aid knowledge. Never, ever do this. It's a respiratory emergency, like the hundreds of other causes of respiratory emergency. Chest compressions only is for a sudden witness cardiac arrest for a person who's never been trained. Anyway, they're killing yous all on purpose. Mostly non-drug overdoses.
All right, it's important to be able to recognize when somebody's overdosing on opiates. Of course, when somebody does an opiate, they start to nod. They start to nod off. They start to look as though they're falling asleep. That's normal. And then they go beyond that. When you get into overdose, you're going beyond that. The breathing starts to slow down. The person is hard to wake up. If you are looking at for physical symptoms, the lack of oxygen from the breathing slowing down starts to cause their lips to turn blue. Their skin feels sort of clammy. They're very hard, they're very limp. And even if they even if you think they're breathing, they may be making sort of a gurgling or a snoring sound that sounds kind of like not necessarily breathing. Just a sort of a sign that the back of the throat is really too relaxed to be able to breathe effectively. So, and when you try to wake them up, that's when you're starting to respond. But that's one of the first things that you do if you're responding to the overdose. All right, so let's go through what's in.
No barrier mass in the kit, and if you can't understand that that's a breathing problem, something's wrong. This is the 2017 instructions from the Ministry of Health. From the video, it was different. Then in 2015 they changed it to this. They put in chest compressions, that's what was in before, but they added CPR and or rescue breathing in 2015. It's supposed to be rescue breathing here. That's blue cyanotic color of skin, dying lack of oxygen. If you can't understand it, they taught tens of thousands of people to do that, and they've been publishing it in the newspaper. Those are the signs of any respiratory emergency, which there's hundreds of causes. They need air, their heart's beating. If you're breathing, your heart's beating.